Hello. I want to talk to all of you very soon. I just want to let you know why I'm trying to reach out to you. And I need some help. And what happened to me, of course, I'm retired, but unfortunately, what happened to me is the same thing that happened to Pete Hegseth. Lloyd Austin, who was then the Secretary of Defense, he had, what do you call it, the extremism stand down. So he's trying to force anybody in the military, especially officers who are Trump supporters, out of the military. They targeted Pete Hegseth. He wrote a book about it, what happened to him, and his story is very very similar to my own. He's accused of being an extremist. He was taken off of orders, and in the end, he was forced to retire. So what happened, as I mentioned, Lloyd Austin, who was then the Secretary of Defense, was targeting Trump supporters in the military for adverse action. And my brother's warning me, oh, we better watch out. They're going to go after you. And it's like, well, me, I'm not important enough for them to go after. But he was right, and I was wrong. But I think they were trying to deliver as many scalps to Lloyd Austin as possible. And I hope to see Lloyd Austin criminally prosecuted for what he did. But, I mean, how the world turns, right? So Pete Hegseth, they did to him what they did to me, target him, and he's forced to retire the way I was, but now he's Secretary of Defense. So now it's time for payback for what these people did to me. So I need some help from you, my friends. And what I want is, since I was a major, when they were targeting me, they had to. These people are so full of crap. A lot of this it's absurd. It's almost laughable. But they violated my rights as an American citizen, my rights as a soldier. These actions were of discriminating against me for my political beliefs, my voting pattern, my religious beliefs were also targeted in this. They think I'm too traditionalist. But one thing that I need your help with is, so what they did is I get investigated. Oh yes, it's true. He found proof that Chaplain Missick votes for President Trump and he supports President Trump. Uh, so, like I said, in a way, this is really bad what they did, but in a way, it's just so absurd and funny. Chaplain Missick has traditionalist conservative beliefs. And look what he doesn't. He believes in traditional marriage, like the Catholic Church teaches. Oh, we can't have this in our today's military. What else did they go against me? So, one of the things they did in this is, they did a 1-2 punch. So this hoax here, it's time for me to fight back. I just want to ask you for help. It's time for me to fight back. So this hoax was used against me twice. First, they take me off of orders basically, and I'm drilling in Austin so they can supervise me. Oh, Chaplain Missick is too conservative. But then that was General Arias, and General Arias was a trial lawyer, and I think he looked at this and he realized it's BS. But the problem is with General Arias is, what do you do when the Secretary of Defense is saying, I want the scalps of Trump supporters in the military? He doesn't really have a lot of choice but to take adverse action against me. But he didn't really, he gave me a little reprimand, but he didn't even put it in my file, or said he wasn't going to. Anyway, but then General Arias was fired by the governor's commander-in-chief, and then he puts in General Burkett. So what happened is I went before a selective retention board, and I was selected to be retained as a chaplain. But then one of these people who were in on this hit job on me, is a JAG officer. Her name is Lauren McKinney. So she participated in this, in crafting this hoax, this fraudulent document. So when she finds out that not only have they not succeeded in kicking me out of the military, but I've been selected to be retained in the military to continue to serve, she takes this libel, slander, hoax, this fraud, and gives it to General Burkett. And he reads this like, oh my God, this guy's a crazy maniac. He's gonna do who knows what. We have to. So he calls me in his office when he tries to this is crazy. I can't believe this actually happened. But General Burkett's trying to go me into some kind of a physical altercation with him. He's getting a fist fight because I'm such an ardent Trump supporter, I guess. But that just shows how dangerous some of the false information in this is, where it gets this crazed maniac, General Burkett, so riled up that, he could have assaulted me. So it's time to fight back. And General Burkett, so he reads this, and General Burkett isn't very smart. And so he believes this. So here's the problem. There's a soldier, like I said, it's time for me to fight back. Now, when Biden's still in office, he can't fight back, right? Well, Trump's back in office. And I think I have a moral obligation, and who's going to fight for me? If you don't fight for yourself, nobody's going to fight for you. But one of the things that happened, General Burkett doesn't know who I am. I don't like to hobnob with the generals anyway. I want to stay away from those people if I can, right? But there's this. These are partisan people, right? These are look, I'm passionate about my political beliefs, but people have different opinions. I don't think you should punish people because they're conservative or that's anti-American, isn't it? Isn't that un-American? Oh, you're too much of a Democrat. We're gonna. That's not the way it should be. Like I said, I can't. It's hard for me to, growing up that this would happen in the United States, in the United States military. I couldn't imagine a scenario where what has happened to me and what happened to Pete Hegseth. I got this Catholic study Bible. Somebody, there's informants, Lord Austin, I want you to find, I want some informants out there to point out the Trump supporters. So, this is Jerusalem Bible, study Bible I use. I use different study Bibles. It's got the Jerusalem cross on it. And that's how they went after Hegseth. Oh, he uses it. So it's a bunch of ridiculous stuff. Like I said, I can't. This is like Soviet Union type stuff. I can't believe this happened in America. But like I said, so General Burkett's an ignoramus. He reads this, and General Arias is wise enough to realize this is crap. This is a unfair hit job, and he didn't really hit me as hard as he could have, as they wanted him to. But General Burkett they brush this off. They take it to him. So, this makes me look like I'm some kind of crazy, the way this is written up, it's like I'm some kind of a dangerous maniac. If you read this and you didn't actually know me, you would think that I need to be restrained, that I'm a danger to society. But, so it's time for me to fight back. And the absurdity of this. This is since I have this evidence, this is really evidence of criminal acts against me. But when I need your help, I want to talk to you all. I lost my phone. Or I didn't lose my phone. My phone's broke, and I lost my. It didn't transfer all my contacts, so I need your numbers. But there's a soldier, staff sergeant, and you probably don't know him. One of you might. But this is Staff Sergeant Nicholas Goudray. And Goudray is, like I said, I'm passionate about politics, so that's what you would call it too. But if you're around Goudray is super Democrat. He hates Republicans. He obsesses with Democrat politics all the time. I know him. I believe we should treat everybody with kindness. If you don't, he's a right to his own opinion. But what he does is the problem with Nicholas Goudray is he's very passionate about politics, but he hates people that disagree with him politically. He thinks, as a conservative, you hear these crazy accusations they make against conservative people being, bad or racist or whatnot, and we just blow it off. It's like, I'm against racism. I don't hate people. So we hear CNN and these news sources saying stuff like that. We just think it's absurd. But Nicholas Goudray is a passionate. He believes the worst about people that aren't part of the Democrat Party. So one of the issues is, out of all this, some of this stuff, it's just hateful and vitriolic what he wrote against me. I've never done anything wrong to Nicholas Goudray. But the issue is, what I'm asking for help is Nicholas Goudray says I don't give a damn about soldiers, that I sit my ass in my office, I'm lazy, and I don't do battlefield circulation. It's in this report. So that's very offensive. It's like I'm not a perfect person. I make mistakes, but I really genuinely care about soldiers. And every week, at least 2 days, I would do more if I could. I would do battlefield circulation. So this is incredibly unfair. Where Nicholas Goudray, I barely see the guy. I have known him over the years, but I'm very rarely in contact with him. He's a chaplain assistant. We very rarely work together. So he knows I'm a Trump supporter. He knows I'm conservative. And he believes the worst about conservatives and Trump supporters. So he wants to get me. We're going to get this guy because I don't vote the way he does. I don't hate him, but he never. It's like I want everybody to succeed and do well to everybody, but he's attacked me. So General Burkett doesn't know who I am, and he sees this report written by Goudray. Oh, Chaplain Missick sits his lazy fat ass in the office and doesn't give a damn about soldiers and doesn't go do battlefield circulation. He's always hiding and doesn't care about soldiers at all. I mean, him saying that is offensive to me because I've gone all over the valley, all the way. It's a long way. It's going down from Brownsville all the way to Laredo. I've been to Del Rio, Eagle Pass, going to great lengths to visit soldiers. I wish I did more of the night visits. I visited soldiers in the middle of the night. I woke up in the middle of the night, went to visit our soldiers. So this is just an out-and-out lie. And it's like, well, so what? So what? Nicholas Goudray is telling lies about you like that. But these lies, it's been harmful to me. So adverse action, it's like, I'm forced to retire. I could have been, if you calculate, this guy has cost me over $100,000, not to mention damage to my reputation. So, just vindictiveness, hatefulness, just because I don't support Joe Biden and Barack Obama because I'm a Trump supporter, he's going to do this to me. It's very shocking. Just to lie about me like that. So you all know me. You've accompanied me on my battlefield circulation. So what I need, if you please do this, just write a letter up saying that I would go on battlefield circulation twice a week at the very least. During COVID, I was ministering to soldiers who were dealing with moving the bodies of people who died from the virus. People saw terrible things on our mission, and I was there with them. It's just to say I don't care about soldiers, I don't love soldiers, I'm lazy, I just stay in my office, I can't be bothered to go see soldiers. It's not true. And not only is the very opposite true, but this guy lies about me and damages my reputation. And this general, this general, like, he called me his office. This guy was about to beat me up in his office because he just got so riled up about what this Nicholas Goudray, Nicholas Goudray thought he wasn't going to be accountable for this. He could say whatever he wanted and there would be no consequences. And he's got, Jesus said, love everybody, love your enemies, but that's not the perspective that Nicholas Goudray has. He's got out to get you if you don't support his left wing. I just don't think I care about people. I genuinely do. I just don't think Democrat policies work to help people. I think there's different approaches we can make to better people's lives than the approaches that they make, honestly. And there's different things you can criticize the Democrat Party for, but if they're legitimately trying to help people, even if I think their efforts are misdirected, it's like I don't care about tax policies or even welfare programs as long as you're holding people accountable and not just giving them a handout. That's good. You want to help people, but anyway, he thinks this is he's got to punish me because I don't vote the way he does and I don't agree with him politically. So he's gonna so. It's just not true. So I'm fighting back. This is taking a bit longer than I was hoping to. Things come up. I'm trying to. Plus, I want to have all my ducks in a row when I fight back from this. I've been working on it. I'm very, very close. Probably just a few days to be able to hit back for what they did to me. But having statements from people who were with me and can say that during the whole 3 years I was on the border mission, that every week I would travel great distances to do battlefield circulation, see our soldiers, and part of it is like, I want to make sure our soldiers are being treated well. I want to make sure, if there's any issues that they have, I want to know. So that was where my heart was. But, if someone says the opposite's true, and then I was, I've had, like I said, this has cost me over, my father died. I could lose the entire estate, basically lose everything I have. And homelessness is a possibility. And I'm being punished for, things I didn't do, and things I'm being punished for the opposite of what I actually did. And this has to be, just on principle, I have to fight back on this. And there's I think a lot of soldiers, Pete Hicks went through the same thing I did. I'd like to know how many other soldiers were targeted like I was. I think we should do like a class action lawsuit to make sure that this never happens again. And could you imagine, one party loses an election or one party wins, and it's like, oh, we're going to go after, weaponizing the government against the political opposition. It happened in the United States of America. It happened to me. I'm a victim of it. So this is about truth. Truth. Did I do battlefield circulation? Did I go out to visit and try to take care of and make resources available to our soldiers so they could access help if they need it, with counseling or other resources? Did I do that or not? Goodray, in this report, and the guy that did this report, his name is Andrew Baker. Everything is negative. He withheld, exculpatory evidence. Nothing is, like I said, if you read this, you think I'm a maniac. So, this general, he's given this document, and, it says that I don't give a damn about soldiers. I never visit them, and I'm just too lazy, and I don't do only battlefield circulation. So, I need help. I need people who are with me, who know that this is not true, that this is the opposite of what happened. And I just want you to, if you could please write me a letter, and with your contact information on there. I probably won't have to contact any of you, but just to say, this is who you are, this is your duty position. And not only do you know, by working with me, I did battlefield circulation, but at times you went with me on battlefield circulation. And, I need this. I need it soon. I found a misplaced, a very important piece of evidence that I had to, I got to go through that file. It's going to take a few days. So probably, I hope I finish everything up. I'm ready to fight back this week, but it'll probably be next week. So if you could get me just a letter stating the facts, I'd appreciate that, because I can't let this stand, and I need to undo all the damage that's done. I'd like to hold these people accountable. I like to see done to them what they did to me. Revenge, if you will. It's not revenge. It's justice, right? They violated my rights as a soldier and as an American. So please, pray about the situation for me. This is going to be a great struggle, but also, the people I'm addressing in this video. Is Goodray telling the truth? Goodray wasn't on the border mission. He wasn't there with us on the border. You were with me. So is it true? Was I sitting in my lazy ass in the office, just couldn't be bothered to take, I don't care about soldiers like Goodray said? Or was I out there proactively going and trying to see the soldiers where they are at their duty position, to see what their needs were, and trying to make the resources we have available to soldiers to help them however they need it? What's true? Is what Nicholas Goodray said true, or do you know differently? And if you know differently, you need to help me, because this was used against me twice. Some vindictive liar who I've never done any harm to Goodray. This is all for him. He's so passionate about politics that he wants to harm people that disagree with him politically. And I think it's just, he's a bad guy. I can't believe, he's supposed to be a Christian. It's like, how could you as a Christian do something about that, Another thing that's important that Goodry says is he says that whenever I preach, whenever I have a chapel service, I'm always talking about the Republican Party and about how great Trump is, and they're all political rallies. Well, that's not true. I don't recall talking about politics in any chapel service. Maybe in a Bible study if somebody asked me questions, but not in any chapel service. I just don't recall ever doing that. So anyway, you were with me 3 years in the border mission. One of you, or some of you, have gone to many of my chapel services. So when you write this statement, was I preaching from the Bible? Was I preaching just Christian messages, or did you hear me telling people to vote for Donald Trump the way Goodry is, or just talking about politics in general the way Goodry is accusing me of? So. These false accusations included in this report, nothing positive about me, nothing neutral about me. It's just a total hit job. And like I said, this has been very destructive and, blatant untruths. Goodry knows it. He's just, he's a political radical and, he just wants to do harm to people who don't agree with him politically. It's disgusting, but that's the kind of person he is. I remember one time we had when I was in Iraq, and there's a soldier that, he got in trouble. He broke the law, and they asked. He was sneaking off the base at night. I don't know what he was doing, and I had saw that he snuck off the base, and they asked me questions about it, and I felt obligated to answer. But I don't want to get people in trouble over trivial nonsense. I don't want to hurt people because. There's all kinds of soldiers I know that have different political positions. We're all Americans, aren't we? So anyway, I hope that you can help me. Just write a little letter saying that, that I did battlefield circulation every week, and that not only do you know I did battlefield circulation every week, but you also accompanied me. So sorry I went on too long about this video. I want to call and talk to all of you in person. Please text me your number, and be good to catch up with you as well. I've just been out kind of in exile for the past 3 years, dealing with a lot of death and tragedy and disasters. It's not funny. It's really been a very difficult time, but I think things are about to change. So, thank you. I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.